It's been absolutely horrible, I'm afraid, for tens of thousands of people. I'm counting at least 20,000 people, Anna, who were booked to arrive or depart from the UK tomorrow and yesterday, and actually arrived either many, many hours late or in the wrong airport, or they were one of the 200 or so cancellations that were made. If I can just give you some individual examples, we had at London City Airport in Docklands, at London Heathrow, the busiest in Britain, at London Gatwick, the second busiest, we had more than 40 cancellations in and out from each of those airports. Manchester also saw delays, diversions, cancellations, but not to quite the same extent, around 20 cancellations. And the diversions were absolutely extreme. So, for instance, at Teesside Airport in northeast England, you had 6 arriving flights yesterday. 2 of them got in. 2 of them were diverted to nearby Newcastle, 30 miles away, so that's okay. 1 went to Aberdeen, and then the evening flight coming in from Alicante on Ryanair, that actually diverted to a different country and it touched down in Dublin. We've got problems this morning at Luton, I'm afraid, with one Wizz Air flight from Romania already diverting to Budapest. Not quite sure of the reason there. A Belgrade flight coming in 6 hours late. And over at Heathrow, British Airways has so far grounded 18 departures and arrivals. Those are all short-haul domestic and European flights, and that will be largely because planes and pilots aren't in the places they should be. If you're travelling today, well, as you brought us in the weather a few minutes ago, mist and fog continuing. And while airports and airlines can keep going, the so-called flow rate is reduced, and that means you can't get as many aircraft through. And of course, the pressure on Heathrow and Gatwick is more intense than any other airports on the planet.
So frustrating for the passengers affected, Simon. What can they do as far as compensation is concerned?
Well, you're not going to get any cash compensation because bad weather is beyond the airline's control. However, every airline that cancels a flight is obliged to find for its passengers an alternative flight as soon as possible. So looking at some of the cancellations today, for example, the first EasyJet flight from Belfast City to London Gatwick has been cancelled. So those passengers, if they can't find space on EasyJet, they can see if they can find a seat on British Airways, which EasyJet must pay for. And the airline must also provide meals and, if necessary, accommodation until they can get where they need to be. Having said that, if you are going to see 20,000 or more people disrupted, I can imagine there will be people waking up, unfortunately having spent the night at various airports, either in the UK or abroad, simply because there were not hotel rooms available.